All right, Thursday, back to upper body. Skull, crush, car, driver, shoulder press, circle raise, chest press. So this one we've never done, but if you've been with me before, you can probably figure it out. So skull, crush, car, driver. I actually usually just go behind my head. It's easier than trying to worry. Like I have a bun on top of my head, so go over, car driver, over, car driver. Shoulder press. Circle raise. It's actually heavy with this weight. And chest press or floor press. If you have a bench, use your bench. All right. Which one's this? Oh, plank shoulder raise. And you can add small hand weights if you would like. All right. Skull crush car driver. So this one you might find you need a lightweight, like what you might think for yourself, because you are not putting the weight down the whole time. So when we lay on the ground, we're on our backs and we do skull crushers like this. So this is the same thing, but you're standing and then you add the car driver into it and then you just go back to the skull crush. So like I said, you're never actually like putting the weight down. So your arms are gonna get tired just from the fact of holding the weight that long. So you might need to switch to something that's a little bit lighter than you would normally use, just because, like I said, you're holding it for so long. So you're gonna start in front of you, go behind your head. So you're gonna hit your triceps, which is behind your arm, forward, diagonal, diagonal, which is your car driver, 1, back, front, diagonal, diagonal, 2, back, front, diagonal, diagonal, 3. My arms are already tired. From the side, back, front, car, driver, back, front, car, driver, okay? So again, ouch, like that was a 10-pound, and like when I actually did this one, it got heavy because you're just, anything where you hold your arms like out in front or out to the side gets tiring much more quicker than you would think it does. So especially holding the weight and then moving with that, it gets tiring. Shoulder press. So your shoulder press, we did do thrusters before, which I think I talked about, the squat and then the press overhead. So your shoulder press, you just start here, your weights are cleaned up to your shoulders, you press above head and come back down. So this is one of those ones, I made a little video, I don't know if you saw it or not, where I talk about if you have like a pelvic tilt, which means your butt is going back like that. So sometimes when we press overhead, it's really easy to do that tilt. So if you're aware of yourself doing it, tuck those hips back down. The best way to tuck your hips back down is to squeeze your butt. So it should look like this when you're pressing. It shouldn't look like this. Okay? So if you don't have that tilt, you probably don't know what I'm talking about. But like for me, I do have that tilt, and being in that extended position is like more comfortable. It feels like almost, it's not more stable, but it's like a comfort thing. Like that's just how my body wants to go with it, so it feels better. But when you tuck, it's definitely more stable. It's just if you're not used to it, then you're just not used to it. So be aware that you're not, like I said, flailing out with your butt. Try to keep it tucked in. If you are tired or you're using a heavier weight, you're gonna push press, which means you just do a slight bend at the knee and then press. Slight bend, then press. That's gonna give you more power. So this is kind of just called like a strict shoulder press. This one is called a push press, okay? But either one is fine. Circle raise. I always usually use my lighter weight for this. So you're gonna turn your palms out. Your hands are gonna be like on the front of your thighs. You're gonna go all the way up above your head in a circle. Come back down, 1. Up, 2, 3. Okay, so that one's pretty straightforward. And chest press. So if you have a bench, which I do, but I know a lot of people don't, so I don't show it with a bench, this is perfect for a bench. This would also be known as a bench press. If you see people in the gym with the long barbell and the weights and they're pressing up like this, that's called a chest press, or, you know, whatever If you're doing it our way, it's technically called a floor press because you're on the floor, but it's all the same thing. It's a chest press is what it is. But people at the gym, or like if you know anybody who's really into weightlifting, they're gonna call it a bench press. It's all the same. You're working your chest. So you're gonna have your legs bent, your elbows are bent 90 degrees and they're on the floor. You're gonna press up and come together over your chest. Slow lower, 1. Press up, come together, slow lower, 2. So sometimes you hear people and it's banging. Try to control it. Sometimes you really can't help it, depending on the weight, because once you come in, it's like it draws together, even if you are trying to do it, you know, more in control. But just try to make sure you're not like slamming them together, because if you slam it, it's gonna come apart and that's gonna break your form. So if they tap, but you keep them together, that's okay. If it's gonna hit and then break apart and you let your arms flail out like that, you don't want to do that, because like I said, it's breaking your form. So just do it as steady as you can. Make sure that you don't just press straight up and make a Y. You do want them to come together, and it should be above your chest, okay? So that's your chest press. And then once you're done with your rounds, we're gonna do plank shoulder raises. So this one can be done kneeling or in high plank. I'm not gonna show you kneeling because I'm just trying really to not kneel on my knee. So you're gonna be in high plank position, and you're gonna open up your legs a little bit wider than normal. So if you're somebody who normally does a high plank and your feet are really close together or they're touching, open them up like shoulder width or a little bit wider, because you're gonna be lifting your arms off the ground. So you need a wider base to be more stable. So get in your high plank position, and you're gonna lift, down, opposite, down, lift, opposite, okay? And you're just gonna keep going for the timer. So it's gonna be like 4 rounds, okay? If you are feeling like it, you can actually add a weight. So I would do 5 pounds or less. So like 2 or 3 pounds is probably ideal. I'm gonna show you with my 5 pounds. So what I like to do is I put my weight right here. I put my hands flat and I slide them under the dumbbell. And then I grab, lift, down, slide back under. Grab, lift, down, slide back under. So that's how you can add weight if you want to. If that workout like kills your shoulders and you know you're like dying, you'll feel it without adding the weight. So you don't have to, that's just an option if you want to.